Hello everybody, welcome to Pralines, Deliciousness from the World of Art. The protagonist of this episode is Dario Ghibaudo, born in Cuneo in 1951. After finishing his studies, Dario Ghibaudo believes that making art should lead him to achieve economic independence. What stands out in this artist is his instinctive capacity to invent solutions to everyday problems by adopting the tools created by himself. He therefore feels at ease manipulating and assembling diverse materials. In the mid-80s, Dario Ghibaudo can't resist the call of the city of Milan. In 1988, the Cuneo Visualità Gallery organizes its first solo exhibition titled Tessuto Connettivo Urbano. Yet, for a long time, there are two sentences swirling around his head. One is stated by Jean-Jacques Rousseau: all that is educated by man is unnatural. The other is voiced by Michel Serres: at the moment man elevates himself, his relationship with nature degenerates. To Dario Ghibaudo, if we approach our world by giving priority to technology, we will risk threatening the harmony between man and nature. In 1990, he gets an illuminating idea that characterizes his artistic production from that moment onwards. He envisions his own museum where every new exhibition is conceived as a hypothetical room. So, while each and every artist aspires to have one or more works displayed in an art museum, Dario Ghibaudo would like to make the museum his masterpiece. In fact, as a natural history museum stores different plant and animal species from all over the world, Dario Ghibaudo's museum, called a Natural History Museum, aims to collect on the signals predicting the broken bond between man and nature. Importantly, he feels fascinated by the idea of the Wunderkammer, in other words, the cabinet of curiosities that houses collections of rare specimens or extraordinary artifacts in vogue from the 16th to the 18th centuries. Dario Ghibaudo thus engages himself in crafting new forms which are the results of his in-depth study on crossbreeding among different species. For instance, let's have a look at room number 8, devoted to organic botany. The sample of Malum manium chivus, a kind of melon whose perfectly reproduced digestive animal apparatus, is showcased. So, how can we keep ourselves from thinking of the ongoing experiments of transplanting animal DNA into plant specimens in some laboratories? With these combinatorium principles in mind, Dario Ghibaudo works out other rooms, such as room number 4, devoted to insects, and room number 9, to the skin of improbable animals. It's particularly interesting to visit room number 6, where 11 samples of Uomo Pronto are on view. They feature men and women reproduced in 1:1 scale and put in vacuum-sealed bags. Through this work, Dario Ghibaudo wants to highlight that men can be reduced to merchandise. Each Uomo Pronto is accompanied with a data sheet that provides instruction for using the product properly, also specifying that it can always be put back in the bag and reused when necessary. Room number 10 is as fascinating. It is composed of a series of geographical maps, each of which is densely covered with small crucifixes made of luminescent materials. The crucifix, the universal symbol of man's suffering condition, would be present at every corner of the world. This series is entitled Caritas Christi Ucet Nos. This famous quote of St. Paul ends with a bitter interrogation mark. Does it still hold true that it's the charity, it's Christ's love, and it's not the disheartening human conflicts that propels man towards action? The theme of crucifixion is repeatedly treated in a work titled Siamo Dei, obviously referring to the life of Jesus, God made man. The work is composed of 7 sculptures featuring human beings with outstretched arms. That which impresses is the anonymity of these figures, representing the entire humanity. Dario Ghibaudo further realizes other sculptures, such as the one in stone dedicated to the mathematician Giuseppe Peano. The sculpture is made up of a unique line, which then develops and occupies the whole surface. Among other stone sculptures are La Bilostomis Litica and Aquifera Rupestri, while his Cephalus Alatus is made in bronze. Dario Ghibaudo's Sculture da Viaggio are splendid. They are small porcelain artworks placed in display cases that are easily transportable and that represent the previous way of evolution from fish to mammals through singular specimens. Let's be sure of one thing. His work doesn't convey any comforting message. Dario Ghibaudo's art, due to the complexity of elaboration, the immensity of ambitions, the large number of idealized objects and of used materials, can be considered unique in the contemporary art panorama. I stop here. Thank you for listening. Don't miss the next episode of Pralines, Deliciousness from the World of Art.